Hey everybody, this is Gino Nicoli, the Marketing Black Sheep, and today I wanted to take a minute to share with you a little bit more detail on how to build depth and width, but specifically how to get your team fired up, how to use your newest partner and how to benefit them in the growth of your business and their business. So I've got an outline. Obviously, I can get kind of excited, so I'm going to use an outline. If I look down every now and then, don't mind me. But let's talk about this three steps that I like to talk about how you're going to work with this new partner. So let's assume at this point in the business, you've gotten to the point where you can bring somebody into the business. Now, hopefully you're able to do that consistently. Let's say weekly or, a couple of months or maybe even one a month. All right. Oh, don't mind my dog either. We've got Flea likes to teach too, so bear with me. But anyway, let's say that you've got this new person that you're signing up. The key to helping them get started is to set an appointment with them at the time that you're signing them up in business. Oftentimes what we do is we wait to hear back from them after we've signed them up, or we reach out to them 2, 3, 4, 5 days later, or a week later, we go on vacation, whatever. That missed step in communication is a critical error in the growth of the business. This is why so many companies in network marketing offer bonuses for you to grow your business in your first 14 days or your first 30 days. They have fast start bonuses and they have mentoring bonuses and stuff all set up in those first 30 days. The whole purpose of those bonuses is to make sure that you have a sense of urgency of getting that new sign up started. All right, let's talk about this first appointment. So you're setting somebody up in business, right? You got somebody signed up, you've got them on the phone, or you're meeting with them at the Starbucks, or you're just finished up with your Super Saturday, and they said, yep, I'm ready to go. Okay, so you take them to your website and you get them signed up, right? Now, while you're doing that sign-up process, there's a couple of things that you should cover with them. And the first is to set an appointment with them when you want to meet with them again. And that appointment should always be set within the first 24 hours. Okay? Just remember this. The further out you set that appointment, the more missteps and the more the relationship, the communication starts to cool down. We don't want to let that happen. We want to get somebody in business and then we want to immediately partner with them to continue to grow the business, right? Okay, so let's talk about this first appointment. So now you decide you're going to meet them at the Starbucks the next day, or you're going to call them over the phone when they get home from work or whatever, early in the morning, late at night, whatever you have to do to get that appointment in that first 24 hours of sign up. Now, some people are going to tell you, well, wait a second, I want to try the product. I want to make sure I love the product, that kind of stuff first. When you get that resistance, you have to help them understand that we can wait until you try the product and we can wait for you to do all of those things. But let's remember why you got started in this. You got started in this to build the business under the assumption that you're going to love the products and services. Let's have an appointment now and get that process started now while you're waiting for your product to arrive, while you're waiting to get your personal story about your product or service. You can get a personal story about the business right now. Okay? All right. So in that first appointment, whether you're doing it in person or whether it's over the phone or the internet, there's a couple of things. First of all, you should cover with your new distributor the ways that you have to help them grow their business. Now, in our team, in our business, we have a sample kit program. Okay? You might have a sample kit program, or you might have a website video that you like to introduce people into the business or introduce your prospects to for the product or the company or the business. That's okay. Let's start with that first widget or that sample kit. This is where your leaders and your companies talk about making your list of 50 people. Now what you want to do is you want to assign this new distributor to make their list of 50 people. Okay? In a little bit, we'll talk about how you can serve that list and how you can serve your money and your time in helping this person to get started, making sure that you're carefully expecting them to match your effort, your time, and your money toe to toe. That's the definition of a healthy partnership. Okay? All right. So you talk about their list of 50 people. All right. And then you might talk about other tools that you guys have. Maybe you have a data capture page. Maybe you have online ads you can use. In our team, we use all kinds of technology like RVMs. We use technology like texting, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so you outline those 4 or 5 different tools and systems that they can use, and then you get a commitment from them as to what they prefer to use. Some people want to just use their friends and family, and that's awesome. And some people want to use technology and other marketing tools and systems. So make them actually choose in that first appointment what two. Make them pick 2 tools or 2 systems to initially start their growth. Okay? All right. And of course, you can always use the marketing black sheep as one of those tools and systems. And then you got to give them a timeline. So here's what I like to tell people is that when you make a list of 50 people, if you're going to use warm market, that's going to be your system that's going to produce results in the next 30 days. Okay? If you're going to use a system like the marketing black sheep, that can produce results 3 to 6 months out. And then if you're going to use direct marketing like the phone or RVMs or texting or whatever, that can produce results in the first 7 days. So let them know that so that they can pick the tools based on when do they want results. Do they want to start growing their business today, or do they want to do some things that will start growing their business 2 months out, 3 months out, etc. Right? Okay. Now the other thing that's important is in this first appointment, you want to take them on the internet and have them actually do a walkthrough of their company website. And the most important part of that is 2 things. 1, show them how to use your company website to enroll a new distributor, to get somebody signed up as a customer, to help somebody purchase product at retail or wholesale, depending on your company and how that works. And then the second thing that's really important is show them how to use their website to reinforce the credibility and the validity of your company, product, and service so that it reinforces the purchase decision that they've already made. Okay? In other words, almost kind of sneaky. So the concept is I want to show somebody the back office resource area where they can see the research and the product validation and the company validation, and I want them to read those documents and watch those videos so that it reinforces the product and company decision they've already made while they're going to learn how to build their business immediately before they even have a personal product or business story. This is how you're going to bridge that gap of activity and immediately stimulate them to be part of your team, to want to be part of your team and your company, product, and service. Okay? All right. Now, the second thing or the last thing you're going to do in that first appointment is you're going to set your second appointment to meet with that person. Again, either in person or over the phone or through Zoom or the internet or whatever you want. Okay? Now, that second appointment, again, should be set within 24 hours, 48 hours, absolute max, okay? And in that second appointment, you're going to ask them for their list of 50 people. Now, they don't have to give you the list. They have to tell you that they actually, in fact, made that list. And if they don't, you're going to use that to also be part of scheduling appointment number 3, okay? You're also going to do all of your setups for any of your marketing tools. So right there is where you would help them set up their communication system. In our company, we use something like Segway or whatever, but you're going to set up your communication systems and you're actually going to have them do it right there on the phone with you in appointment number 2. You can do it in appointment number 1 if your person is really aggressive and assertive and wanting to get started, okay? Now, here's the trick with this warm market list that a lot of people mistake, okay? It is not your new partner's job to pitch or present to their list of 50 people. That's your job and your upline's job, okay? Their job is to simply make the introduction. Now, your companies and leaders probably have great tips and hints as to how to do that introduction. In our program, what we like to talk about is that we've got an online store that offers blah, 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 and we're looking for people to try it for free just to see what they think. We just want your opinion. And then when you get the agreement, when they make that contact and their friends or family say, yeah, I would take a look, yeah, I would try it, right then and there is when they should say, you know what I want to do is I want to introduce you to my partner in this business, blah, blah, blah. Hang on a second, and then have them 3-way directly to you or directly to your upline. And when that three-way takes place, the job of that three-way, if you're getting that three-way from your downline, is not to sell them. It's not to get them in business or to get them to try the product. At that point, it's just a testimonial three-way. What's your experience been? What are your results? Why should they take a look at the business and or the product? And that's it. Okay, you're going to use that relationship now as you go further along the appointments as they work that list of 50 people. Okay, all right. In that second appointment, if they're going to use technology, RVMs, dialers, you're going to want to help them get all of that stuff set up right then and there in that second appointment. If they're going to use online ads, in the second appointment is when you should show them exactly what that ad should look like and where they should put that ad, okay? And then you're going to set a date for them to begin to execute their tools and systems, for them to begin to contact their warm market list, for them to begin to use the automated technologies, to begin starting to get prospects, to look for people, okay? That'll be the third appointment, obviously. And then you're going to explain to them the communication systems of your team. On our team, we have a live Tuesday call and we have a live Thursday call. One call is our team call for our team. And then the second call, the Thursday call, is our company call. Okay? It's really important that your team should have one of each, right? So you should have a team activity every week, a call, a meeting, coffee shop, whatever. And then you should have something else that week that is specifically from the company so that you're building a relationship with them and they're building a relationship with you and the company, just like you did. Okay? All right, now we're going to do the third appointment. So we've got the third appointment. All of these 3 appointments should take place in the very first week, hopefully in the first 3 days if you've got somebody who's really aggressive. Okay? All right, so in the third appointment, you're going to help them to actually start taking action. Even if they're uncomfortable making calls on that list of 50 people, let them three-way with you to make those calls. You don't say anything. You just stay quiet while they make the contact, the introduction. And then if the prospect responds, then they can say, hold on, let me get my partner on the phone because I want you to meet them. And then you would simply get introduced as if they actually had to dial you or call you to get you on the phone, okay? You just tell your person, hey, just put everybody on hold for just a second while you're finding me or whatever, and then bring me in so they don't feel uncomfortable that I was already sitting there hunting on the call waiting for them, right? Okay, that's also where you would begin to say, okay, when are we going to drop our text? When are we going to automate our stuff? When are you going to start taking calls and start actually getting prospects? Okay, and again, this is where you can use the marketingblacksheep.com to begin to build that continuity of understanding these philosophies. All right, look. Here's what you're trying to make happen, okay? Here's your target, if you will. It's 3 things. Number 1, you're trying to help them do for themselves, okay? Number 2, you're trying to teach them to do for others. And then number 3, you're trying to watch them teach others how to do and teach. That's it. And this is your 3-step system to do that. In other words, you're making an appointment in that first sign-up transaction to take the first step. In the first step, you're going to have them get their systems set up, get them registered, get them making their list, getting them taking some action, right? In the appointment number 2, you're actually going to help them set up their systems and things and check to make sure that they've already taken action to make their list, to build who they're going to talk to, right? And then in the third step, and this is the key, you actually have to take action with them. You can't expect them to call their contacts all by themselves unless they're assertive enough to do that. And then if they're not, you have them make a couple of calls with you sitting as the shadow on the 3-way. Okay? Just until the point where they say, you know what, I think I got it. I talked to 5 people so far. We got 2 to take a look or 2 to try the product or whatever. And then they can continue to move on themselves. If they're going to run ads and you've got ads for them to run, or if you've got RVM systems or digital communication systems, you actually want to do those systems with them. In other words, you're allowing them to use their money and their time, effort, and energy to get their first two. That's all you want somebody to do, is help them get their first two if you're in a binary, or you're going to help them get their first three if they're in a unilevel. Okay? But you have to invest your time and your money and your effort in helping them do that, as if you were literally working with a partner in business. They make calls, you make calls. They run an ad, you run an ad. They do technology, you do technology. They make a list, you help them make the contacts on that list. Okay? Now, anywhere in that 3-appointment process where your new partner drops the ball, that's why I prefer to call this an intern partnership. Okay? They have to qualify to be your partner. You can't just assume just because you sign them up that they are your partner, but you have to assume that their intent is to be your partner. And then through their actions and through your actions, you determine if they actually get to be a partner. So what happens when they stop taking action? This is my favorite part. If you want to build big income in this business, you have to build depth and width at the same time. Width means everybody that you're personally signing up. Every time you sponsor a new distributor, they go on your front line, whether you're in a binary or whether you're in a unilevel. The only difference is how they display it. A unilevel is going to put everybody on your front line horizontally, and a binary is going to put everybody on your front line based on 2 diagonal outside legs. Okay? And so every time that you enroll somebody, you should stop advertising, stop prospecting. You're not looking to recruit anybody at the moment because you just hired a new intern partnership. Then you're going to walk through this 3-step system with them and get them to take action. And instead of you running ads or recruiting when you're on step number 3 and they're taking action, you should be doing those things to help generate more prospects for them, as long as they're willing to take action. And at the moment that they stop taking action, you're going to replace them. In other words, then you're going to do all your advertising and all the things that you have done to recruit that person in the first place. And now you're going to go out there and bring in a new personal recruit and start over again with this new intern partnership. Now, where are you going to put that person? When you do this, you have 2 choices. You can put them on your front line. Every new person you recruit, you can simply put them on your front line. And that's a great thing to do if you've got somebody underneath you that you recruited last week that stopped following this process, right? But if you've got somebody who's starting to work and now they've gotten their first 1 or they've got their first 2, or you're in a unilevel and they got their first 3, your job is to now do this process with their new people, establishing new intern partnerships below you and with the contacts that those people brought you. They're now supposed to watch you do that. In fact, I would encourage you to 3-way to your new distributor while and their new distributor. So you put both of them on the phone so that now you're teaching your last rep how to work and train their new rep, right? Because now we're just trying to help that person get there too, which helps the person that you enrolled 2 weeks ago to get their business building depth and width, right? And every time you have somebody in that process that falls out of this 3 steps, they stop taking action, you start personally recruiting again and you replace them on your front line. In other words, if you're in a binary, you'll replace that person who quit or stopped or stalled by putting another person that you personally recruit and sponsor at the bottom of either your right power leg or the bottom of your left power leg, right? And then if you're on a unilevel, you do the same thing. You'll bypass this person who stopped their activity or whatever. If they didn't get their first 2 or they didn't get any traction, then you don't have any new partners below them to work with. So now you go get a new personal recruit and add them horizontally on the right or the left, right? And then you work with them through this 3-step system, and you work with them. As long as they take action, you keep taking action. As long as they, when they miss a step, you try to help them get back active again. But if they choose not to, then you're just going to go to your outsides again, okay? But the key to this in unilevel and in binary is to remember that you always want to do this on both sides. What you're looking for is to have a line of distributors that are active and working this system successfully on both sides. So if you're in a binary, for example, a lot of times people will tell you if your power leg takes off, just focus all of your new activity on your inside leg. That won't work when you get to the top comp levels because you won't have balanced business to give you balanced income. Same thing with a unilevel. So what you have to do is you do this 3-step process with every one of your new recruits to help them get their first 2 or their first 3. And then you work with those new 2s and 3s to help them get their 2s and 3s and allow your newest partner to watch how you did that process. And then the next time you expect them to do the process and they finally become the upline building, right? So let's say you do that in your inside leg and you got some growth going on. Now you're going to go start advertising again or start promoting or start recruiting again to get yourself your next new intern partnership over on the other side. Even in your power leg, even if you don't necessarily get the point volume for the growth in your power leg, you're building the business for the bonus structure at the top of your compensation plan so that when you get up there, you get much, much greater income, okay? Remember to use the existing relationships you have or build from the point of purchase, okay? When you're building a relationship you already have with a friend or family member for a business purpose, it's not too difficult to understand how that process should look. In other words, obviously you're talking to them on a regular basis or communicating with them, so you know a little bit about them and about their life and what their goals are and their targets are, and you're using that communication to approach them about your business. But when you get a new recruit that comes out of the cold market, you have to use that transaction of putting them into your business as a customer or distributor, and now you're going to use what I call the inverted relationship from the right standpoint. So in other words, you get your sale or you get your sign up. The first appointment that you have with them, in addition to what I already told you, that first appointment is a place where you should start to get to know them. Okay? You should ask them what their life is like. What's their family like? What's their work like? What's their time and their money look like? Okay? And you tell them what your life looked like before you got involved in the business. And then number 2, what would it be like for them in 12 months? What do they want to see happen in 12 months from a time standpoint, from a money standpoint, from a life standpoint, right? And then what do they want to see happen in 3 to 5 years? This is all in that first appointment after you've signed somebody up and they're ready to start setting up their systems and making their list. You're using this stuff to help them understand why it's so important for them to take action today. Because if they don't take action today, chances are they won't take action tomorrow. And chances are 12 months from now, they'll have no greater a life, a lifestyle, time, or money than they have right now because they didn't take action a year ago to make that change happen today, right? And then the third thing is find out what some of their favorites are, their favorite foods, their places, spare time hobbies. Find the common ground between you and them. Oh, we both grew up in Southern California. Hey, we both like to skateboard, we both like to surf, or I've got a son and you've got a son, or whatever you can have as common ground. And then here's critical part, okay? You got to jot notes. You got to jot notes. See, your Uncle Tom, you already know how many kids they have and how many times they've been married and where they live and all that kind of stuff because it's planted in your memory. But when you're building a new inverted relationship, one that started with the business transaction in the first place, you have to learn all these things about this person and you have to jot notes so that you remember it because you may not see them or talk to them every single day of every single week, right? Okay, now remember, if your new intern partner stalls in the process, they're fired. Okay, and you're obviously not gonna, you're not gonna do the Donald Trump you're fired thing. You don't have to do that. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna let them sink back in the communication because they're not taking the action necessary. Now you're gonna go get a new recruit, and that new recruit you're gonna put on your front line, or you're gonna put on your front line in your binary, and you're gonna work this 3-step system with them to get them their first 2. Then you're going to partner with those new first 2 people just like you did with them, only you're going to allow them to 3-way to shadow that relationship. And you're going to help each of those 2 go get their 2. That way you're not constantly spending a ton of money to grow your business of recruits. You're not spending a ton of time, effort, and energy to get your new recruits. This business is not about how many people you can recruit. This business is about how many people you can recruit that you can help to learn to recruit. Okay, so I think I covered most of the points I wanted to share with you guys Work with each partner, require that they invest their time and their money as equally as you invest your time and your money in helping them to recruit. And then don't forget, work with their new partners as if they were actually your new partners. You're training that other partner above them. You're training that partner how to train their partners. And you don't want to rely on their ability to do it. They're brand new. Okay? And then repeat steps 1 through 3. It's that simple. Okay? Work on building width and depth at the same time. Every new personal recruit is building your width, right? But every time you work with them, for them to make their list, for them to set up their ads, for them to do their marketing, now you're building depth to help them find their new partners who technically are going to be your new partners until you teach that previous partner how to do the same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this helps you guys. I hope you'll watch this over and over again and take notes. It's allowed me to add literally up to 42 people a week, every single week into branding-ized businesses. And you guys can do the same thing. We love this industry. Have a blast out there. I hope you'll take a look at themarketingblacksheep.com. Come to our free class if you don't know about it. Check out our website, themarketingblacksheep.com. I look forward to helping each and every one of you explode your business, no matter what company or product or service you choose to market. Let's have a great time and change this industry once and for all and change the failure rate into the success rate. I look forward to talking with you soon. Until then, bye for now.